I am actually a mom of a 21-month-old daughter. Um, it was challenging being a mother, going to work and not seeing her for like 15 hours straight is a challenge when she is going through all her milestones. For all the formula sheet, for example, the cheat sheet that we have, I stuck it on the wall of my room. So every time I would pass the room, I would look at it, and that is how I would remember. You cheat on the schedule will cheat on you. If you solve something quicker, it will give you bonus time for some other difficult question. And I think this is a great tool for all the people who want to like save time. And I used to repeat this to myself that you have done the best you could all these months you have studied. Whatever is the outcome. You don't care. But go in, study, solve the questions correctly with peace of mind, and then move forward. And I don't regret it at all. Of course, I have recommended all my friends, just take the first step. Things will follow eventually. Something will come up.
Rashmi, so you graduated in 2013 with a mechanical engineering degree. Now, what kind of student were you in college?
So I did my bachelor's degree from 2009 to 2013. First, I would like to say that at the end, when I graduated, I was in the top five in a class of 80 students. And I was very good with the HVAC, heat transfer, um, all these concepts. However, I did lack a little on the statics and dynamics side because I didn't have good tutoring or mentoring that time. But overall, I was in the top five. So I would say that.
Wow, that's very impressive. Did you graduate in the US?
No,
Where'd
I
you graduate?
graduated from University of Pune in India.
In India. Okay. Okay. That's very impressive. Top of 5 out of 80 students. Okay. So you moved to the US. When did you move to the US?
I moved to the US in 2017 to pursue my master's degree at University of Cincinnati.
Oh, wow. Okay. How did that go? Did you get your master's?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. How was master's compared to bachelor's? Was it easier, more difficult?
It was very easy. I didn't actually so I got initially it was hard for me to adjust because this was the first time I was away from home and I had to manage
Mm.
my on campus job, my studies and my like cooking and everything for myself. So first semester I got like 3.4 in GPA, but I picked it up in the second semester onwards. So I got 3.75. But even getting 3.75 was not hard. I think when you do masters outside of your home country, the main challenge is it makes you independent as a person altogether, so that you are able to channelize your energy and multitask, or have a schedule and follow it, and still be okay with your and still have free time to pursue your hobbies or go out with your friends or things like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It challenges you as a person because it's not like the same thing when you stay close to your parents. I can relate to that. I also did something similar where when I graduated high school, left home, came to the US to pursue my bachelor's degree, and yeah, it was tough the first. I think also you feel homesick a lot of times,
Yes.
and that in itself was a challenge, but awesome. Okay. When did you hear about the FE? And then when did you start preparing for it?
So, in all honesty, I heard about the FE when my roommate was taking it. At the time, it was in 2019, but she's an environmental engineer, and for her, it was a necessity to get a job. My master's was in product development, which may or may not need FE. So I didn't focus on it much. I took my FE first time in 2021, March 2021, second time in October 2021, and I still did not pass both these times. And the final time is when I took in November 13th, 2021, 2024, sorry, excuse me. So that is the time when I passed. So,
Okay. So you took the FE exam 3 times. You took
yes,
it in 2021 twice. You took a break and then you took it again in November, or you passed it in November 2024.
Yes.
Okay. I have a lot of questions here. Um, from your background or from what you told us so far, you've been so good in school. You've done so well in school in your bachelor's degree, master's degree. When you failed the FE exam the first time and the second time, how did you feel about that? How did you handle that kind of failure? Because I'm assuming that before that, you probably never failed a class or got a bad grade.
It was a challenging time, that is for sure. So the first time I took the exam, I studied almost like close to 2 months, but the syllabus is so vast, and I was not able to figure out or get familiarized with the handbook. So when I had questions in the exam, I was struggling where to find it. In the back of my mind, when I was reading the questions, I was like, this is so easy, why can I not get this? This is so easy, this is what I've done so many times. But it's not about your intelligence. I think it's more about practice and knowing where how and knowing time management. So these are two very important factors to pass the FE. Second time I took it, I failed it because of my office schedule. I did not progress with what I studied before. So I think I needed more preparation. I needed more time or more material to study and a channelized way to study. The third time when I took it, it is like a do or die situation for me because I am so ahead in my career. I'm already 4 years in the MEP industry. So at 4 years, people take their PE, and I'm still struggling with my FE. So this is what triggered me that come on, people are becoming PEs in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey, so people are becoming PEs in 4 years, and I'm still stuck at FE. Come on, so that is something that motivated me. And this time when I studied, I took 4 months because of my schedule. Um, I work from 8 to 5. So I used to wake up early in the morning. I used to study 2 hours in the morning, 5 to 7, then go to office, get ready, go to office. In the evenings from 6:30 to 9:30. And evenings I started doing for 3 months, but first month only studied in the morning because I wanted to get used to studying and listening to videos and using the calculator over again. So this time, the first two times, I used the other calculator, Casio 9661, I think. And this time, like you recommended in all your videos, that use the Texas TI 36 Pro. So that is the one that I used. And that I think that too made a lot of difference for maths and probability statistics for sure.
Mm.
So for those questions, because um, if I remember correctly, I had questions that I could solve, I could get the answer within 30 seconds. 20 seconds to enter the information correctly, and 10 seconds is when the calculator processing time for the calculator. So initially, when these questions took me like over 4, 5, 7 minutes, this was done in under 30 seconds. And I think this is a great tool for all the people who want to like save time. Use the calculator, use it for your advantage. It's very easy and helpful. And I don't have, and one thing also, I don't have to remember the steps. For example, I have to find A transpose. I should know how to enter the values in the matrix and use the right functions to get to the answer. I don't have to worry about finding the inverse and then transpose and whatnot. So that saved me a lot of time. Um,
Mm.
so I think it's like focused efforts and the calculator as the bonus, like a brownie cookie. So I think it was all of those.
Okay, awesome. Okay, a quick question on the calculator. You said that you used Casio before and then you switched to TI 36 Expo. Did you feel like the TI was better, easier, or it's just the because it's the one we use in the course?
Actually, I used that Casio for almost 10, 15 years. It took me time to get adjusted to it, but I made sure I used that calculator everywhere, even at work. So
Okay.
it took me like almost a week to get used to it. But ultimately I knew in my brain, in the back of my head, that I am going to use this calculator. Whatever is the situation, I have to get used to it. So
Okay.
that is the reason, like, I used it at my work, at my home, even for the tiniest calculation. I did not use my phone, I used that calculator. So
Mm,
that is how I got used to it.
awesome. Love that. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go back to your schedule because there's a lot here. So you would wake up at 5 a.m., you would work for 2 hours, go to work, come back, and then work again another 2 hours. Um, are you a morning person? Did you wake up early before you started studying for the FE?
um I used to wake up at 6-ish.
Okay.
And yes, I am a morning person. I cannot do all nights. I cannot study in the night because I get a headache, my brain becomes very heavy, and I cannot do that. Yes, I used to wake up at 5, study for 2 hours because my mind is fresh, and anything new, if something that I did not understand in the evening, I would just listen to it or see it again in the mornings. So that would just help me understand better. And I think it's about um, studying in the morning, I think, and not in the evenings. And yes, in the evenings, I studied for 3 hours. Sometimes, because of work, there have been days where I could not even study 1 hour, like not even half an
Mm,
hour. And because of the deadlines at work, but I made up for that time on the weekends. And I used to sit like maybe for 6, 7 hours on the weekends. I would try. In the end, yes. Towards the end, like September, October, November, yes, I have studied for like 5 to 6 hours, 7 hours on the weekends.
like Saturday and Sunday or together?
Both. So Saturday, so 6 hours on Saturday, 6 hours on Sunday,
Wow.
because there are topics that I did not understand or they
Mm,
were new to me, and I simply could not let go of not understanding it. So, so you try again sometime later. So
mm.
ultimately, the goal is to understand it. So repetition. So that is why.
Got you. Okay, so if somebody is watching this and let's say they want to start waking up early, what would you suggest to them? How could they start doing that? How could they switch to that schedule? And then how long did it take you to get used to that, right? To start waking up at 5 a.m. and to that new schedule?
Um, so I started waking up at 5 a.m. during summer when the sun is already up at 5. So I didn't have to take extra efforts. But if wants to follow this schedule, they can, it's easy. It's initially one might feel drenched of sleep for maybe 1 week, but
Yeah.
then your body gets used to sleeping less because you have more important things on your mind. So you can wake up at 5, study for 2. I think it's the best 2 hours you can put for yourself, and go along with your day, do whatever you want. And in the end of the day, like, if you have time, study for a couple more. If not, go to bed at 9 o'clock. Again, wake up in the morning at 5. So I think if there are not many other commitments, this could be a very handy or easy schedule to follow.
Got you. So how did you have any other responsibilities and then how did you manage your schedule?
Okay. Yes, I am actually a mom of a 21-month-old daughter. Um, it was challenging being a mother, going to work and not seeing her for like 15 hours straight is a challenge. When she's going through all her milestones, that's a challenge. And my husband would tell me she did something new for the first time. And I used to tell myself, and he also told me that it's okay. It's for the short period of time. Once you pass your exam, she will do 10 other new things. Now you have to focus on your exam. Focus on this so that you don't have to take the exam again and you won't miss anything new the next time. So,
Ooh.
so, so,
That's a good
so
one.
that, yes. And thankfully, I have family here. So we live in a joint family, like, my husband's elder brother and his family, we live together, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law were visiting us. So I told them that I need your help taking care of her because toddlers, they need to be fed at the right time, and they're hungry and
Yeah.
whatnot, and they're teething. And I
I
just told
love
them,
it.
I need your help. I joined my hands. I'm like, I need your help, please. take care of her, uh, and please give me time so that I can study. And with everybody's help, this is not just me. I give credit to everyone. Someone cooked for me. Someone, like my husband, would bring it up upstairs in my room, so I would eat on my desk and again go back to studying. My in-laws took care of my daughter, so I didn't have to worry. I didn't even have to change her diaper. It was that good. um, in the end, when but there is one thing, she needs me to put her to sleep. So I used to see her like only in the nights at 9:30. That is when I would like end it, because I cannot go past 9:30. So there have been days where I have just met her like Monday to Friday. I've seen her only at 9:30 in the evening, in the night.
Wow.
So I was like, because I would wake up to go to work, she's sleeping. During the day, maybe a couple of times on the FaceTime, but that's it. I've like physically met her at 9:30 in the night, and I think it was a challenging time, but it was temporary. It's not like forever. You're not going to they're there. You just have to focus on yourself for the time being. So it was challenging, but I'm happy that everything is in the past now, and we are moving forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's great you were able, to pass your FE exam, and I love what your husband said. That was like, I'm sure, a motivator to keep going, make sure that you pass the FE so that you don't
Yes.
miss any other milestones. I really like
Yes.
that. That's amazing. Yeah, having support, family support, it's really important when you have a lot of responsibilities. Just mentally helps a lot. It just gives you a break, right? Something less to think about. Like,
Yes.
don't need to think about dinner, or your daughter is in good hands, and you can just focus on the FE. The FE exam is challenging, and it does require a lot of effort, like you said, and a lot of studying, and I can see that you did put a lot of effort into it. I gotta say, I'm really impressed that you did it in 4 months and you got it out of the way. Like, you really, but looking at your schedule, you put in 4 hours every day during the week, and then on average, you did 6 hours Saturday and Sunday. So that's a lot of hours you put in a week, and so you kind of crammed that all in 4 months, and then you did it, which is awesome.
I honestly think that if somebody is using the coursework you provide on the website, they should plan for 3 months. I give
Mm.
myself 1 month grace, because it's like a grace time, because to make up for something at work or something unexpected. Like, you won't believe, Kenza, I took my exam on 13th, and 11th my daughter fell and she hit her eyes right here, just at the corner of her eye. So to make up for something like this, I gave myself 1 month, but this had to happen like 2 days before the exam. But if someone is studying, taking the course, 3 months is enough. If someone goes beyond 3 months, they'll get bored, or they might think, oh, it takes a backseat somewhere in the mind. So 3 months is a good time to study. Had I was If I was in some other situation, like what if I was not married, or if I was single and no other responsibilities, I would have definitely aimed for 2 to 3 months, not more than that. I think that's a good time. Um, I think only that much time is required, because if anything beyond, you lose interest in it.
Interesting. While you still have that motivation and that fire in you, after like the 3 months, you feel like things starts to go down and you start to lose a little bit motivation. It just starts to take forever. You're like, ah,
Yes,
I have to do
because
this again.
for example, the mechanics of materials, the those classes are, I think, 107 or 120 sessions, those videos.
Mm,
I started getting bored. I was like, when am I going to the next session?
mm,
Uh, that could happen. If it happened to me, it could happen to anyone. So they have to just stay focused. Like, uh, just make sure that they are going through the video once. I would recommend going through everything once, and then revising once, and then going for the FE exam.
mm,
Because when I gave my exams till date, I used to revise 3 times. So first time is the studying, second is revise, third would be the exam questions that you get. or mock tests, and then you know where you are. But I could not do this this time. I took the FE mock test. I had taken couple other problem sets from Amazon from 2021. I didn't even use it; they were unused, unopened. So this time when I was preparing for the exam, I went through all the videos like on a quicker pace, but I went made sure the difficult ones I marked them and I reviewed them. And I also took these three mock tests. I saw at least I took one NCE's one which was timed, but I at least took the other ones. Like I looked at the questions that they had. I solved them per section when I was revising it. So you won't believe, this helped me with couple of questions on the exam. So that helped me
Mm.
prepare, because for if you don't mind me explaining, then I can go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
For example, in for maths, I already mentioned before that the 30 seconds. For ethics, there is one website you have mentioned in your videos, NPSE, if I'm not SC, National Society of Professional Engineers. So there is a questionnaire of 25 questions there. Two of those questions were in my FE exam. Same questions, word to word. And because I reviewed it, I got the answer, whatever, right, wrong, I don't remember, but I knew the correct answer during the exam. And even the ethics chapters that you have in your video, um, two questions came from those videos, and one
Mm.
question from the Michael Lindbergh uh, problem solving set. So it was very similar to that.
Mm.
On those lines, it is not exactly word to word, but the concept was from there. So
Mm.
five questions were from, like, they were split this way. um Engineering economics was very easy, I will say. So when I took the exam, I was dreading it because I was like, oh my god, I missed this. But I think it's the girl math, you can call it. But if I take a back seat and think about it, the questions that you have covered in the coursework, even on YouTube, those are really good. Last time when I did not pass, I got full points in engineering economics just by
Mm.
looking at the YouTube videos you have. So that is one thing. Um, then coming to statics during engineering, and like, you don't get good professors for all subjects, and statics dynamics was one of those subjects, and I lacked there. Constant acceleration problems were easy for me because I was good at it anyways, but rigid body and then torsion and all these questions, I lacked. And I'm grateful for the videos that you have put in. They're short, they cover the concept. And I so the point is, I got the exact same questions that you have covered in your class. I mean, same type of questions that you have covered in the videos. And I'm grateful for it, because had I not revised it, I would have forgotten
Mm.
about it. Because like I said, 4 months is a long time,
Yeah.
but towards the end you have to revise, otherwise you will forget it. uh, then coming to fluid mechanics was easy. Some of the questions that we have solved in the class are a little bit difficult, I think, but I
Mm.
but they are okay. It's better to study for harder questions
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then have the exam easier than the other way around.
Yeah. Because
I'm grateful for the mechanics of materials class, like the stress strain diagram, iron carbide diagram, the copper nickel diagram. There is this formula that we use. I'm grateful for how we solve it. Then moving on to heat transfer, uh, thermodynamics. Listening to the videos, understanding the concept is very important to pass. You will pass, but you have to know, it's not about like plug and chug and get the answer. No, not that anymore. You have to know the concept behind it. Then coming to machine design was easy, I would say. Very straightforward questions, very straightforward. But major chunk was thermodynamics, statics, fluid mechanics, heat transfer. They were really good. They were really good. And I am grateful for all the practice problems that you have in your thermodynamics class. All these classes, they are short, they're sweet, and very to the point. And you won't believe I have watched these videos multiple times because I tend to forget. That is, I think that's just me. I forget and then I have to watch again so that I remember it again. That is how you don't forget it. And there is one thing I did. For all the formula sheet, for example, the cheat sheet that we have, I stuck it on the wall of my room. So every time I would pass the room, I would look at it, and that is how I would remember. Um, there is one derivative formula that you have given which I could not remember for whatever reason, and I had it on my wall, and there were little sticky notes, I used to write on those and put it on my office desk also. So every time I look at it, I think of that problem, which was hard for me to remember. So these tiny things I have done. um, when I was revising for ethics, material sciences, and one more, I think. One more theory question. So I travel to work every day. I have to go to office every day. So I made use of that time. I used to listen to these videos. I would play it in my car, and every day I used to listen to it. That is how I revised for ethics, material sciences, and I think it's all about making good use of the time that we have, because it's challenging when you're working, because you think about the work and the deadlines, but then you don't think about yourself. So and the idea is make most of your time. Even in lunch breaks, I would take, we have 1 hour lunch break. When I was lagging behind, I would never take that lunch break. Like, I would eat quickly in like 5-10 minutes, and remaining 15 minutes, I would study. I would take my practice problems, I would study, look, watch the videos, listen, put in headphones, listen to it, and study. And I think I think that is how you make time for yourself. Otherwise, it's very hard, very challenging.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That was a lot of information, and yeah, I think it's really important to be intentional with your time. Like you said, you can look at your schedule and you can plan for every minute of the day, right? Which is
Yes.
similar to time blocking, and that's why I talk about that a lot in our channel, because like when you are being intentional with the time that you have, you can
Yes.
get a lot done, right? Like you said, I love how you were watching the videos on your way to work, or during lunchtime you would eat quickly and then you would study. I love the sticky notes idea of just putting the equations in front of you, and then by looking at that reminds you of the problem. I mean, that is actually really good idea. I'm going to use a lot of these tips and then share them in our channel. And
Definitely.
I'll mention you. But I love these tips that you shared. So thank you for that. Um, okay, so let's talk about study resources. So you did mention that you used our courses. Um, let's how did you hear about us? Let's start with that first.
So, like I mentioned, the second time when I took the FE, I studied the engineering economics problems from YouTube, the videos that you have uploaded. And I have a friend, I would mention him, his name is Carlos Lorenzo. And he said, "Oh, you watch these videos for economics? You might even check her coursework. It's a really good coursework. I'm using it, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Okay, sure." So that day, I went home and checked the website. Um, for me, it was uh, so in my mind, I'm thinking, if someone can put so much efforts in just one topic, so why not they will put efforts for the entire course. I don't mind paying the money. I don't mind, but I have to focus and pass. So that is why I choose the website for the FE mechanical coursework, and I don't regret it at all. Of course, I have recommended all my friends. I have a younger brother who is also going to prepare for FE. He is doing his masters right now from MTU, so he is going to use the coursework. I have recommended it to all my colleagues. Some of them are mechanical, some of them are not, but if they can make use of any sections, I mean, it's up to them. But I think I have motivated most of them. Like, they are like, "Oh, you can do it, so I can also do it." So something like that.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Now, real quick, if you guys are preparing for your FE exam right now and you are looking for some good FE problems, make sure that you guys grab our FE book. So we have FE Civil, FE Mechanical, and we're going to launch the FE other disciplines soon. And these books, they have over 100 FE problems, and every problem there is a YouTube link where you can check the step-by-step solution. So make sure that you guys grab it and use it to prepare for your FE exam. Okay, great. And let's see. I think you talked a lot about our courses already and then how it helped you. Do you sorry. Did you use any other study material that helped you pass your FE exam besides our courses? Anything else you used?
Before I signed up for the coursework on with Genie Prep, I already had the Michael Lindbergh handbook, the manual, the big manual, and the sample question set. But I think reading through the manual and summarizing it is a challenge because I was on a short time slot. So for me, I wanted something that is ready made, to be honest, ready made. This is what you need to study, this is what you need to prepare and move on. So I did choose their sample question set though. Those are really good. And those questions are similar to what we have in the course as well as what I got on the exam. So I would definitely recommend that for FE Mechanical. I took the NCES sample problem, what is it? Sample question set that they have 110 questions, which I had bought 3 years ago. I used the same one. This time I scored better. And also, like I said before, I had ordered sample question set just to get a few more questions thrown at me. It's not necessary, but it's no harm as well. So if I would say if you're done with the course that we have, that's enough, more than enough, because the questions, because the FE conceptual questions are covered in the FE conceptual exam that you have conducted on the website. So that is enough. But if someone wants to go beyond and above all this, then there are sample question sets. Some of them were okay, some of them I didn't even think. Some questions they copied from the NCS web booklet. So
Mm.
I would not recommend, but if someone wants it, sure.
Okay, awesome. And then let's talk a little bit about the exam. I think you mentioned a couple things about the exam itself. Now, before you went into the exam, how did you feel? Were you nervous? Because, like, you took it twice, you failed the F, you failed it a couple times now. You probably you felt the pressure. I need to pass this so I can go back to my daughter and go back to my normal life and schedule. So, how did you feel going in?
With all honesty, the day before the exam, I could not sleep. In my mind, I was revising the questions, I was revising the formula, I was doing all the things that are not supposed to be done. I was doing all subconsciously, unconsciously, I was doing it. I could not help it. I tried to sleep, I could not. I went in nervous, but I had studied enough. So somewhere I had that confidence in me. And as I was appearing or solving the questions, the first half, they actually, I would say that the first half questions were a little different. The topics were jumbled. Um, the last time I took them, fluid mechanics was in the first half. But this time I took it, fluid mechanics was in the second half. I had electrical question in the first half. So that was a little different for me. But as I solved the questions and I got answers quickly using the calculator, it made me feel good. So I was like, oh, this is done in under 2 minutes. Our goal during all the videos that you have mentioned, it has to be under 2 minutes or maximum 3 minutes, because something will make up for something. Like if
Yeah.
you solve something quicker, it will give you bonus time for some other difficult question. So then I took the mandatory break. I thought about what I had solved during the break, but I didn't want to think about it. But I was like, okay, this is fine. We don't care. We have to focus. I have to focus on the second part that's coming up. Uh, and I used to repeat this to myself that you have done the best you could all these months you have studied. Whatever is the outcome is the outcome. You don't care. But go in, study, um, uh, solve the questions correctly with peace of mind, and then move forward.
That's awesome. Okay, great. All right, let's see. Let's talk a little bit about after the exam. Um, how did you feel when you got the results back?
I didn't want to check the website, NCS website, because I think it's the student in me, or maybe because I'm a girl, I think like this. So after the exam, every night I slept, my brain would always go back to the questions, and I was in my dreams, I was solving those questions like, did I get this answer? Did I get the wrong answer? What was the correct answer? All this analysis happening for 1 week. So I took the exam on Wednesday, and the next Wednesday, the results were out. My friends, my colleagues, they pushed me like, go check it. What will happen? If anything, you will fail. And you are already, so I was already prepared to study again, like wake up at 4 this time, because I would not have time in the evening because my in-laws went back to India. So in my mind, I was prepared. Okay, if I have to study, I have to wake up at 4, 4 to 7, 3 hours every day. I know where I'm lacking. I'll attack those questions and whatever. And with very nervous, I was very nervous. I was very anxious, and my heart was beating fast. I went to the NCS website first, and then I clicked my password, and there it was on my screen. FE Mechanical passed. It felt so good. It felt so good. Oh my God, I was shivering. I went and I hugged my friends, and I told my manager and the principal. They were super excited for me because they know like how hard it is to manage everything and pass the exam. I called my parents. My in-laws were still here, so I didn't call them yet. So I went to a sweet shop. I got some sweets, and I gave my father-in-law and mother-in-law the result, and told them it's because of you I passed.
Oh,
And they were so ecstatic for me. My father-in-law even had a tear in his eye, I would say.
oh.
I was like so happy. Both of them said, I'm so happy you passed. At least we were of some help to you. I said, don't say that. But it felt so good. But to come to this, to come to that, coming to that screen, the screen that said pass, I have a vision board in my bedroom, and even the wallpaper of my computer that I'm using right now. I downloaded this image, FE Mechanical. It's there everywhere on Google. I downloaded that image and put it as my wallpaper. And I have also put it on my vision board. So every time I pass it, I'm looking at it. Oh, I have to pass the exam. Somewhere, so I did everything that would like push me, like, do it this time. Don't fail. Move on. Move on to the next one.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Um, you the way that was very emotional at the end when the way you talked about your parents-in-laws and the family and how you kind of thanked everybody for helping you get here. It's like you don't really get here by yourself. Like you have the whole
Whole
team that's
team.
behind you and
Yes.
cheering for you,
Yes.
supporting you every single day, reminding you they're there to help you to achieve that. And when you do cross that finish line, it just feels awesome for everybody. And just like
Yes.
it's like a that's
Yes, and in my what my husband was saying is the best thing is you are already prepared to retake it. That is the best. So you are already prepared
yeah,
for the negative side. So if you would fail, you would do this, but that didn't come. So I had both things figured out. I mean, thought through. Like if I fail, I have to do this. If I pass, we'll study for PE. So
yeah,
I think because having that attitude. In help me prepare for both, actually. So if I have to study, I won't regret it. I won't mind studying again, this time stronger.
yeah. That's yeah. I mean, that's the right way to approach it, and to I think it's really important for the students, like if you fail the FE exam, to not take a long break.
Yes. Yes,
You
not
know,
to take
from
a long break.
October 2021 to November 2024. But hey, maybe everything happens for a reason. Back then we didn't have a course for you, or at least a full course, right? We just had the morning course, so you would have, not have the afternoon course. So,
Maybe.
you know,
Maybe I was meant to
yeah.
meet you on this video call, so I waited for
Exactly.
you, I think, to complete the course.
Yeah. But yeah, it's it's, I think it's really important that, and I also understand a lot of times, like, when people fail the FE exam, um they it doesn't feel good at the time, and then also they go, what, me, I'll just handle it later. But as you probably realize, that later came a lot of responsibilities, more responsibilities than what you had in 2021, which made it a little bit more challenging, but it kind of made you a little bit stronger too. And I think there's advantages and disadvantages to both, because now you still have that momentum and you can keep going and get your PE license as well. So, you know what I mean? And so, and I've had a student mention this before, who got his FE and a PE, and he'd been out of school for like 15 years. And he's like, if I did took my FE when I first graduated, and now I have to restart to study for the PE, I think that would have been way harder, because now you're studying for the FE, you're going to need all that for the PE, and you're going to do it very close, versus like a 10-year, 15-year gap. That could be, more difficult. So, I truly think, everything happens for a reason. Life works in a mysterious way. Maybe back then you didn't have that fire and that motivation. Now that you have a toddler and you have a, baby girl, you're like, I want to become a PE. She needs to see that. You know what I mean? And so that could be also something that motivated you to do it, which is amazing. So it, it's awesome. What you have accomplished, it's very impressive what you have done. Uh, I can't imagine what that must have felt like. I have a daughter as well, as I mentioned before we started this. She's 14 months old, baby, and it's very difficult to manage life, really,
Yes,
right? And I'm sure a
yes.
lot of parents could relate. Like you said earlier, you were talking about her schedule, and and it's like you don't have a schedule; you go off of their schedule now, right?
Yes.
it
True,
they're the
true.
boss,
Yes, they
and
are the
so
ones.
yeah, and so I can't begin to imagine the all that responsibilities that you had, and even missing those milestones, and it happened, and I'm sure that you probably felt a little bit bad about it. We're moms. I totally get it, but your husband is right. You are going to see hundreds and thousands of milestones. You missed just few ones, and she probably wouldn't even remember that you missed them. She wouldn't even know, right?
Yes.
Just don't show her this video. She will never know. But yeah, and I think it's amazing what you have accomplished, and then one day she's gonna be like, "Wow, my mom did that." I was like, uh, a baby, and she was able to accomplish all this, and that's very impressive. And I think is such a great role model, right, for your baby. So, yeah. So, okay, let's talk about. I have two more questions. I want to ask you about the PE.
Sure.
So, are you planning to take your PE exam?
Yes, yes. I'm actually, I would like to take this opportunity to learn from you, like what are the good PE courses? Because I think for me, as I know my strengths and weaknesses, if I have a coursework and if I have things sorted out, I don't have to, I don't have the time rather in scheduling my course or my study material. If something is made available to me, I can make sure that I will study for it and I will make myself available for it. But if I have that information, if I could get it from you, I would be really grateful. And I have also started asking people around. So I do have like couple of names people have recommended. One of my friends, he did self study and he passed the exam. I mean, that's not the case for me because I mean, it's not that for me anymore. I know that I need a coursework because then I can sit down on one place and study. So yes, if you have any recommendations you can give me, because I don't want to waste any more time. My So it was my resolution for 2024 to pass the FE, which is check marked. Now next year I want to make sure I pass my PE so that I don't have to look back and think about the time I wasted.
Mm,
I could have done. I don't want to regret not studying immediately after FE. and then things are out of touch and you forget. And it's the and I think it's pretty normal. That is how our brain is. If you don't revise, you'll forget. So because I have studied, put in enough hours for the FE, I think I have a good understanding of the concepts. It's about having focused efforts again. So I'm open to your suggestions as well.
Of course, yeah. Which PE are you planning to take?
HVAC and refrigeration air conditioning.
Okay, HVAC and refrigeration. Okay, I think I might have a course for you. I would just have to look for it. Uh,
Hmm.
I can share it with you, and then I think it's similar to the courses that we have. I don't know the name of it. I literally have to go and then just look it up. But it's similar to what we do. It's just this guy who does courses on this website. I think it's Thinkific. I used to host my courses in the same site, Thinkific.
Hmm.
And he's available. He has great reviews. He has all the problems he solves them in a video format, just like we do at Jenny Prep. And I think you might like his style. I'll share it with you, and then you can do a little bit more research. We can also ask a couple of our students who have passed their PE as well, and then we'll see their recommendations if you'd
Sure,
like. we
sure,
can
sure.
we can do that as well. Okay, awesome. All right. And then, okay, last question. If a student comes up to you and asks you to list 3 things that really helped you pass your FE exam, what would you say to them?
Oh. So number one is having focused efforts. Um, I know the syllabus is vast, but focusing on the questions and focusing on the exam problem type, that is important. Having a good second is having a good schedule. You cheat on the schedule will cheat on you. So have a good schedule. It's like commitment, 100% commitment. Stick to the schedule. The day you get your results, you will thank yourself for the schedule. So I would say that. And number three is the earlier the better. So you take the exam today is always better than taking it tomorrow. So like, just don't take the exam for the sake of it, but take it with all intention, with all focused efforts, with all sincerity. If you pass, I'm sure everyone will pass. If they do this, they will pass. It's not that difficult. If I think about it, sitting back, if I were to tell you all the questions, 110 questions I got, few questions, two couple of questions were hard, but overall it's easy. It's about thinking of the correct solution, correct process to get to the solution. That is the challenging part. And if I can do it, so can anyone else. I mean, it's not that hard.
Great, great. Rashmi, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your story with us. I'm sure you're going to help a lot of people and inspire them. You shared a lot of great tips, especially, for a mom with a baby, right? Like a very baby, very young baby, right? So I can, like I mentioned, I can relate, I can understand that. So, it's pretty remarkable what you have accomplished. I'm really happy for you, really proud of you. And I'm sure you're going to do great on your PE exam. I have no doubt you're going to do great and you're going to pass it. And when you do pass it, we would love to have you back in our channel so you can share how you did it. And I think it's going to, because I think a lot of people, there are not a lot of interviews out there about PE, right? And we would love to have you back and then you can share your PE journey with us. So
Sure,
thank you
sure,
again.
sure, sure. I would also mention this one interview that you took of this lady. She was, I think she took her civil, I think, other disciplines or FE civil, I don't remember. She was a mom of two. When I listened to her interview, she used to get up early in the morning, and I think somewhere listening to all the success stories on the website. And when you have, like you said, it's the whole team. So even people who you don't even know, they might touch your life in a certain way that will
Mm.
motivate you to move on. So it's combined efforts. People, if I would say that if you are studying, if you are focusing on yourself, other people will join you to for you to reach the goal. So that is how I want to conclude this. Like, just take the first step, things will follow eventually, something will come up, something. I know mothers like me will struggle, but you take the first step, something will happen. You'll find a good babysitter, or maybe you'll find a good daycare, or someone in the family might show up to take care of your child. Something will happen, just take the first step.
That's beautiful. I love that.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Kenza, and the entire Genie Prep team for creating these uh, deep, thought out videos. I'm grateful for having all the material available to me, and I'm grateful for the efforts that everyone has put in. We can see the person teaching us on camera, but people in the back end who edit the videos, who make it short, crisp, they also need to be uh, appreciated for all their efforts. I am grateful to have this Genie Prep course. I benefited from all the videos, and I'm hopeful that if anyone else uses them and they move forward, I mean, I would be more than happy to be your ambassador. And I'm grateful for all the efforts that the team does for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashmi. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words. And I'm really glad that our courses have helped you with your FE preparation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ganza. Thank you.